I am worried for my daughter's safety. Update, link, original post. So after a bit of a delay the update, I think it should state the reason for the disappearance. Through a comment, given to me by, I was informed that it is a demon ghost, whatever you want to call it. That is no, you steal children. Without saying, they sent me into a state of panic, as I would like to think any other parent would feel. I didn't leave her side until she left today. She was supposed to leave on Monday for my parents' house, but something came up and we had to wait until today. Without saying, I collapsed shortly after she left. I hadn't sleep more than 40 minutes every night. Before I go into our conversation, I am getting the house completely cleansed by a Catholic priest. He is coming over tomorrow and then plan to have the place cleared out with sage. And I am doing basically everything I've been told to do, even planning to get a rose quartz gem the place outside of her window. She is very much aware that something is wrong at this point, as I had her sleep in my room for the last few days and could tell I got very paranoid at night. I told her that there have been a few burglaries in our area and was just worried. I also plan to be getting a nanny cam for her room just as extra security, just in case it doesn't leave after all of this. The original post I had meant to share. This morning after she woke up and ate breakfast, I decided to sit her down and ask her about her friend, mostly asking simple questions. That the main ones were, what was his name? Has he ever asked you to do bad things like hurt herself or me? And if she was scared of him. She told me he said to call him Winnig, which is a name I've genuinely never heard of my life, and that you never told her to do anything bad or hurt herself or me. And like I said, I was informed that this is a demonic entity that steals children, and she has only ever been scared of him once. Of course I asked why, and she proceeded to tell me the story of when he started to come over to play. She said it as a few hours after I put her to bed, and she was having a hard time falling asleep, but she noticed something outside and had gotten up to investigate. Apparently he slowly started to move to the window until he was right in front of it and just stared at her, like he was, in her words, very sad and upset. So of course, being the sweetheart child, she wrote a small note and pressed it to the window, asking if he was okay, and apparently he shook his head. She somehow managed to open the window a little bit and then asked why. She was told it was because he was very scared of the dark and had on one to play with. So of course she offered to play with him. He told her he would like that, but before he could, she had to invite him inside, which she did. This is when I start getting scared, she said. After she did, he smiled and pushed the window open and crawled in on all fours, which made her very scared and she started to cry. But apparently he comfortable her and then did a magic trick. I of course asked her what the trick was, and she said he made all the lights turn on in her room to show her he wasn't scary. I started to ask her more and what other magic tricks he had done, and they ranged from making flowers appear to taking both of the outside. Apparently he also likes to show her the stars and moons, which is why she added them in her drawing. I am starting to believe the letter that this isn't just an imaginary friend. The amount of detail she went into, constantly referring to him being real, and just many other things. I am just glad she is out of the house until Thursday. I think it is very pissed off with me though. Starting a night ago I woke up with huge scratches on my arms and horrific headaches, which I've never had before, as well having very strange issues while trying to translate this, having a bunch of random ones scattered throughout my writing. At this point the pain doesn't really bother me, it's more of the fear of it trying to get to my daughter again. I don't know if I should tell her the creature's origins or if I should wait until she is much older to explain this to her. I will be trying to keep everyone updated, but tomorrow is going to be an extremely busy day, as I also plan to go to a crystal shop and just ask what crystals would be best to protect her. This sounds more like a real person outside your child's window and not a paranormal entity. Ghosts wouldn't need someone to open a window to let them in. Please inform the police and install security cameras, and I would have your child sleep with you for the meantime. I've actually ruled this out as a possibility. My neighbor from across the street has a private security system, and one of the cameras picks up some footage on the side of the house my daughter is on. I asked if we could go through it together, telling him I was worried about burglary issues. We went through about a month of footage and not once was a person ever close to the window, especially one matching the drawing. keep posting updates. I am hoping everything turns out okay. This is really frightening. This sounds nuts, but I had a negative attachment a few years ago, and the way they can influence your thoughts is terrifying. No, I do not, nor have I ever had a mental disorder. The entity also used to use electronic devices to torment and scare me at my most vulnerable. It really was not happy when I would try to get help, church, Reiki, mediums, and it would get violent. I am glad you are focused on protecting your daughter, but please do not underestimate these things. Protect yourself. Picture white light surrounding you and your daughter. Say out loud that only pure love and light is allowed in your space, home and heart. And yes, the priest is a very good idea. Also, stay far away from anything that can alter your state of mind and cause you to become vulnerable, like booze or even some medications. Stay strong as possible and do not even crack the door to let this thing in anymore. I am really glad you are taking it seriously, as I do not even want to think about what could have happened. Please keep yourself safe as well, man. If it is really that bad, did a Reddit poster or someone else tell you it has a demon, and what exactly is their proof? There was someone on here that studied demonology and said there was a story about a medieval German demon with the exact same name. Had to be invited in, blonde hair, long nails, and knew magic, exactly the way his daughter described it. Did you ask your daughter what did he look like? This would have helped me to identify what it could be. She drew a picture of him. It's on the original post.